Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Nigel View on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. Going to have a look at some of your pictures, but first I need to show you something. Stephen W sent me a link and it brought me to the allskycam.com. I'll leave the links to that in the description box down below. We're going to be looking at Van der Vost Observatory. The pictures on this camera are approximately every 10 minutes. And we get approximately 6 pictures. You can see the time and date just up here. And the first thing to note, we're looking at a 360-degree camera, north, south, east and west. In the centre we can see the lens of the camera. We've got some lens flares there, and we also seem to have an object just here. Looking in the west, we're looking at what they call our sun, that big bright white LED in the sky, and I'll be making a video about that because I have some new proof about the sun simulator and I'm going to put it all together. I think you might find that quite interesting. You can see the tearing on the camera just there. If we go over to the east, what we're looking at is a lens flare because this object goes 180 degrees to the light source, just like a lens flare does. But there is one difference, and we've seen this before. We're looking at the red spinning planet. This object happens to be spinning. It is a lens flare, and it seems to be setting with our sun. There is the colour of our sun, and what you're looking at is actually happening just over here. So we've got a red object, and we've seen this many times, that seems to be setting with our sun. You get the white LED sun simulator, the yellow sun and the red planet that seems to be setting and getting very, very close, especially when we start seeing it as a lens flare. Now, many people will say what we're looking at is a lens flare, water droplet or whatever it is. Really, the only way that that red object could be spinning is because it's there in the sky. We're looking at a fixed camera. A fixed camera is not moving, so a lens flare cannot spin. The only reason a lens flare can spin because there's an object that's actually moving round, and that would make that spin. Does that make any sense? I'd like to thank Brandon for sending this picture in, and it's just basically a typical picture that we can see absolutely anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where it was taken. We can see it's been taken through a windscreen because we can see the dash there. The clouds, yeah, they look normal. They're chemtrails. We get to see this every single day. They're not trying to hide anything in the background at all. We've got to notice how white this is, how red it is down here, and we've got a little bit of yellow tinge going on. But here's something that we can look up and see all the time. This rainbow, part of the lensing system being projected backwards onto the chemtrails. And yeah, just like a sundog. Which very nicely brings us to this next picture. Thank you very much Donovan W for sending this in. And you can see straight away we've got a sundog. If you're in the right place, right time, you get to see the north, east, south and west version. But if you look a little bit closer, we can see that there is a sun halo. We're being told this is ice crystals. For me, this just proves that there is a lens system in front of the sun simulator and it's being projected backwards onto the chemtrails. It happens to stay the same size. It doesn't shrink. It's just a projection of the lensing system. And if we increase the contrast and brightness or bring it down, let's have a look at this. And as you can see, there seems to be something else in the sky. I'm looking at a lens because it's very, very round. Yep. And 2 lines just there. And we get to see that many, many times when there is a lens in the sky. Of course, yet again, a normal picture. We don't even need a camera to see this sun halo or these sundogs. It's just something that's been happening and it's meant to be a rare event. Rare? And another picture from Donovan W. He said it's about 2 years old and we can see we're looking out towards the sea. Some things don't change, that big white LED in the sky. Don't forget our sun is still there. No sun, no life. Not even going to talk about it. And you can see we've got the clouds and the chemtrails and it does look a little bit murky. That's for sure. We've got this object here. Now, if this was in the sky, I'm going to say that many people would have taken a photo of this. Unfortunately, just one photo is, well, it makes it very hard to determine what we're looking at. I'm looking at a lens flare. The reason for that is 180 degrees from the light source. And also, it's flipped because if you notice the clouds are at the top here, they should be at the bottom, and that, yeah. So what I'm looking at is a lens flare, but nevertheless, a very, very interesting picture. John D sent me this photo in. Unfortunately, he's cropped it. It would be nice if it was the full original photo, but never mind. Thanks for sending it in. And we can see we've got lens flares here. Very interesting ones. Very man-made, I've got to say. We can see, well, what looks possibly to be our sun, and over here, this is a lens. Whether it's there in the sky or it's being projected over this direction, not rightly too sure. How do we know it's a lens? Because every time we see lenses, we've got these lines that run all the way through them. Maybe one or two, but there seems to be a number. This just reminds me of a Fresnel lens up in the sky, but that couldn't be possible now, could it? Oh, it's a frisbee? Tony D sent me a series of pictures in. Thank you very much, really appreciated. He's sitting at our traffic lights. The traffic lights are green, behind another car, behind a bus, turning right. You know you're going to be there for quite some time. He looked up, there's a cloud in front of what they call our sun, and took a series of pictures. Let's zoom into this. I think this is quite funny, actually. So there you can see what is supposed to be our sun. Well, it's our sun simulator, but you could really mistake what we're looking at for our moon. If we zoom in just that little bit further. One thing I do know about what we're looking at is it's very, very pixelated around the outside, which I find quite strange. I suppose that's because of the clouds. Let's have a look at the next picture, and you can see he's actually moving the camera about, moving further forwards because we can't see the traffic light now. Next picture, he's at the front of the queue, but moving it around, it doesn't half look like there's two light sources going on here, just up here and one down here. Let's have a look at the next picture. And as you can see, things haven't really changed, but there still seems to be something there, and also there. Let me adjust the colour and contrast, and let me show you something, what I found. Now you can see, just here and here there seems to be objects, and just there seems to be an object. And if you look just here, we can see in the background it's very, very red. These are very, very outstanding, and so is this. That couldn't be possible. But hey, look at the chemtrail haze in the background. You've got no chance of seeing anything at all through that chemical soup they call chemtrails for geoengineering, climate change, and not to hide things in the sky. TJ sent me some pictures in, really, really appreciated. And the first thing you can notice, we've got a great big arm flying through the picture. You've got to be careful of those, you might get hit. Looking in the background, we can see there's chemtrails, but what I want to know is every time we take a picture of the sun, it changes day by day. How is that at all possible? Our sun should, many people taking pictures, and you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've taken many pictures of the sun. Many things seem to happen with the same camera lens. It should be a constant thing, taking pictures of the sun, and we should get no more different effects. But every other day, I seem to get a different effect with my camera, which shouldn't really be possible. Sun simulator around the outside, it's very, very red. And this lens flare, this is something new for me. Look at the colour of this. We've seen this green lens flare many, many different times. Let's have a look at the next picture and have a look at this. Very, very dark blue, green. It looks very, very man-made. It looks like a lampshade to go along with, Any rate, there's the chemtrails in the background. Absolutely normal. And you can see he's moving the camera around. Great job. Really appreciate it. And really, what is that we're looking at? Very, very strange. It looks like something, that dot should be there. Of course, that's a CMOS sensor error. Yeah, CCD overload. And it's causing that black dot on the... Oh, it's not. I'd like to thank Jill O for sending these pictures in. Really, really appreciated. This is exactly the effect that I was talking about. You take a picture of our so-called sun and you get this effect, and you really shouldn't. And each week you would take a picture, it would change, and that isn't possible. We've got the petal effect. Many people have caught this, and you don't get it every single day. Of course, that's a lens flare. We've got this, what is meant to be a round object in the sky, and blue on the outside. If I was to put another one there, turn the picture black, and you were driving down the road, just picture it, it would just look like a car headlight coming towards you. Hey, and it really doesn't matter which way you turn the camera, you still get this exact effect. Of course, it's absolutely normal, and yeah, there's nothing up there that could be changing what is occurring with the camera. It just looks like the lens is broken. Oh, it's another broken camera. That's exactly what it must be. And keeping on with the same theme of strange pictures of our sun simulator, and this is definitely no exception, I want to show you some pictures from Rise Up with Risey. Thank you very much for sending them over. He's got his own channel. Please go over and say hello. Links to that in the description box down below. Does some great work. Maybe not everybody's taste, but please go over and have a look. He sent me these pictures, and very strange they are. We can see that we're looking at our sun, isn't it? And yeah, we can see there's a lens flare of types or description there, and we've got the petal effect around the outside. We really shouldn't be getting pictures of a star in the sky, because we can see the lens that I've been talking about, and you get to see that, like I say, with a sun halo. Absolutely normal. Looks like a very man-made thing. Really not natural at all. Look at all these lens flares. Really, what is going on? Now we've got a much better view. We can see that we're looking at this object, very red around the outside, and we've got these, what I can describe as balls. Yeah, balls. What are they? Are they projections of the lenses up in the sky? Not rightly too sure. But what? Yeah. This is the way they hide things from us, right in front of our faces, so we couldn't, yeah, absolutely wonderful. When you're getting a lens flare, it should only be one direction. You can't get a number of lens flares. It just doesn't make any sense. That just proves to me that there are lenses in the sky. So you've got your lens flare here, a great big lens flare, and yeah, what is that object? It looks like a Nerf bullet. That's not at all possible. And then you've got lens flares this direction, and these two red. Yeah, lens flares absolutely everywhere. I find what you're looking at a impossibility. It is not at all possible. But yet people will try and tell me that, well, would you like to explain what we're looking at? So what we've got to understand about these pictures, number one, right time, right place, right angle, everything marries up, and we get to see these strange pictures. Number two, what you've got to remember, and many people don't, 6 years ago, most of these pictures did not even exist. If you're that sort of person that adds 2 and 2 up and gets 4, and you think that's the answer.
If I have 2 markers in this hand, and then I add the 2 markers from this hand, how many markers do I have now?
22.
No, Danny, it's 4.
So the only answer to 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's the only way it can be. I'll leave the link to that in the description box down below. Please go over, have a look. That will definitely make your day and make you smile. Alternative math, 5 million views, needs to tell you something. Anyway, let's have a look at these last few pictures. Iris Turner sent these in, and to all intents and purposes, everything looks absolutely fine, apart from this green lens flare, a bit green down here, whitey bluey skies, and yeah, chemtrails in the background. Just a normal sort of day. But noticing up here, there is something. What we're looking at, I'm not rightly too sure. It's something that really shouldn't be on camera. So what I'm looking at is some form of technology. There's something in the sky that shouldn't be there. Is it ours? Is it theirs? Or is it just one of those things that we have no answer to? And I think it comes under one of those. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for sending the pictures in and all my subscribers for supporting me on this channel. Really appreciated. That's all I got for you now. Much love, much peace, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.